Alright everybody, welcome back to another Dead by Daylight video. And you saw the title, and to answer the question, is Dead by Daylight in a good spot right now? I don't know what the general consensus is, but yes. I think the answer is 100% yes. I think we are in the best time we've been in with this game. It's not perfect, no game ever will be, and the balance of the game isn't perfect on either side, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend it is. But from a game health perspective, I think we're way beyond where we've ever been. From a perspective of the devs, maybe not fully listening to us, don't get me wrong, they have their issues, but they're doing better than they were, and any improvement is improvement. And as far as balance goes, while I don't think we're in a perfect spot, I think we're in the best spot we've ever been. Almost nothing is blatantly overpowered to the point to where it's completely uncounterable. Nothing is so good that it has to be run all the time. While yes, there are about the 10 survivor perks and the, I'd say, 7 killer perks that you see at the top level. For the most part, like, I wouldn't say it's so concrete that you see the exact same thing every game. I still see a decent bit of variety. I think a lot of people do. I just think they don't want to say it. Now, at the end of the day, it's still gen regression versus, pumping out gens as fast as you can, but that's just inherent to the game. As much as I would love to see that fixed somehow, I don't think it's ever going to happen. We have prospects of new game modes coming out. The past few killers, while not perfect, have been pretty okay. As far as community sentiment goes, for the most part. Perks, while nothing incredible other than Ultimate Weapon being, and Made for This being a bit of a problem, a lot of the perks we've been getting have been okay. And nothing meta changing, but okay and usable, other than a couple. The bugs, I still run into them. I think everyone does. The game still has its spaghetti code, obviously, but for the most part, they're pretty much non-existent. I very rarely, maybe once a day, which I know for some games would be insane, but nothing game-breaking anymore unless I'm playing Twins. That's a whole other can of worms, though. And I mean, the characters we're getting, the cosmetics we're getting, some of the balance changes we'll be getting, while not perfect, have been overall, I think, healthy for the game. I think the game is still in a very good spot, and I think people are very doom and gloom whenever they're talking about the game dying right now. Player counts might be down on Steam. Just remember that little bit. And I know it's a good metric to go off of, but it's not the only metric, and I think we all tend to forget that sometimes. But the game isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I seriously doubt it. I think this game still has at least 5 more years to it. At least. And you can come back to this video in 5 years, or 3 years, and tell me I was wrong when the game dies. But, I mean, and we're getting major updates to a few killers and add-ons and perks. We're getting an FOV slider soon. I really do think this game is in a decent spot. Once again, as I said earlier, not perfect, but in a spot where I think we can't really complain that the game is bad. There are still some annoyances, but I mean, we've got an anti-camp, base anti-tunnel. Both of them aren't perfect, as a lot of things aren't, and I think need to be adjusted slightly. We've gotten the UI for survivors over the past year. We've gotten perk adjustments over the last year. We've been seeing a lot more balance changes, which I know some people think is skewing the game more into competitive, but at the end of the day, I think it's better for the game. I think some of the balance decisions aren't the best, but they're changes, and that's usually all I want. And I think the doom and gloom, honestly, right now is just unwarranted for the most part. I really don't understand it. I never will, and it's just so strange to me. To a degree. Like, I get it, you just got tunneled like 4 games in a row. But, I mean, I would love to see the stats right now as far as kill rates and stuff go, and I'm sure Behavior will give it to us soon. But overall, I think the game is in an okay spot, and I really do think it's the healthiest it's ever been. Now, as someone who's only been playing for about 3 years when Nemesis came out, I mean, maybe my perspective is a little different, but even of the videos I've seen from this game when it first came out, and the stories I've heard, this game is definitely better than it used to be. And I think that's something that needs to be applauded for Behavior. I know we all like to give them shit and so much, but I would rather congratulate them on the good, let them know about the bad, and that's it. I don't think we need to hark on the bad as much. And I know I'm guilty of it too, especially with my video about the AMA. What was the point if all you were going to do is give us non-answers? And I know some content creators aren't necessarily leading the space, but are definitely backing up from the space, which I think is just the natural course of things. I came from League of Legends, and we had a content creator exodus about 2 times, and it was a new generation of content creators. And I've noticed for a lot of newer games nowadays that doesn't really happen anymore, and I don't know why. Typically about every 3 to 5 years it'll happen. At least it should, given the nature of things. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. I'm really curious to see the general sentiment of the health of this game. Try to be civil, as I always ask, and, I'm going to stop rambling about this now, like I always do. The links are below for the Twitter and the Twitch and the Discord, and like and sub and all that dumb stuff I'm supposed to say at the end of every video, because it's the only way apparently people will click on things, I guess. But I love you guys, and yeah, bye.